Are you the kind of person who feels comfortable asking a venue to charge your phone? Well, if you are, then you're in good company. Today we'll be sharing stories from our past, playing some games, and maybe even performing a live sketch or two. Let's put a spoon under running water and flood all surrounding rooms. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for 4 old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And our special guest, Sammy J.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Now, as you've heard, we have a very special guest. Sammy J is an award-winning Australian comedian, writer and composer. He's played in Edinburgh, Montreal and London, and even Australia. He's had a sitcom on Netflix. He's performed for many years as the man-puppet comedy duo Sammy J and Randy. He also creates weekly satirical sketches, which can be seen on ABC TV. Sammy will be very busy in the coming months as he'll be hosting The Breakfast Show on ABC Melbourne. Am I going for long enough, Sammy? Is this something that I need to... I'm just reading out your website, basically.
And the words that I wrote are ringing true.
Do you disagree with any of it?
So far, so good.
And also, Sammy J has announced a national tour beginning next year in Feb. Thank you, Sammy, for joining us.
Dion, just need to pick you up on several things. Starting with your inclusion of the word spoon in the very start, which I found personally offensive, having just endured the most frustrating brunch experience of my life. When the infamous Welcome to Patchwork platter was served up, the most delicious creamy yogurt sat atop the platter. And when I went to partake, no spoons. Not just that, but when I requested a spoon, the offer of a fork was made. And that fork just happened to already be on the platter. So
Can I qualify that? You did... you looked as though you were searching for a spoon. I saw you gesture towards the fork. Mm-hmm. I did make an offer. Would you like me to get a spoon? And you said, no, that's fine. But could I argue this fork did have quite a cupped base?
okay, this is ostensibly an audio medium, but I will not allow you to pull the wool over your listeners' eyes. It was the smallest, most childlike. The surface area of a normal fork does indeed afford one an ability to scoop up some sort of gelatinous liquid. There was nothing. It was like people at home imagine 2 toothpicks sticky taped together.
Well, can I just say that there were lots of forks. So, Sammy, what I would have asked you to do is tie many together and fashion yourself a spoon.
Well, that will be segment 2 of today's program.
Now, before we get started, I had a Christmas party a couple of weeks ago, and we were all this big group together. We have some younger staff, we have some older staff. We walked into the escape room, and one of the younger staff made the presumption that she could go straight to the attendant behind the counter, hand over her phone and say, "Could you please charge this for me?" My curiosity is there an onus on staff, on events, on places to charge people's phones now? Is that the society that we're living in?
Christian, you sound shocked. Did you have a problem with it?
I did, because I don't think that you should presume that a venue will have the appliances and the charging cables for your phone.
Well, how was the question phrased? Was it, can you charge my phone, or do you have somewhere I can charge my phone?
No. It wasn't even that long. It was, charge my phone?
No.
Inflection upwards?
Well, hang on, because if there's an inflection, it is a question, not a demand.
You're right. It was a question, but it was a presumption. It was, my phone is low on battery. Here it is. Take care of it for me. I'll be back in an hour and a half.
I don't think there's any responsibility that a venue needs to do that. And I think venues like that, it is just the individual staff member that maybe has brought their charger in, and it's them as an individual that make that call.
Sammy, what do you reckon?
Thoroughly agree with my learned colleague Josh to my left. You can ask anyone in the world whatever you want. It's a free society. I believe in free speech, but you need to be aware that you're not living in a vacuum, and how you ask it is going to reflect back on you and potentially influence the resulting answer to your question.
For sure, but do you believe that the venue has the responsibility to provide the charger?
Absolutely not. However, again, a venue thrives and lives and dies on Google reviews, and if you're going to be nice to your customers, you're probably going to benefit from it.
No, but that's the key. You can't put the review in because your phone's out of battery. No, we can't. And is your phone nearly dead? Because that'd be great.
Did she supply the cable, Christian? Or was it just the brick that she was after?
No, the attendant had multiple cables. It was almost as if
Different cables?
different cables. She handed the phone over and she had a look and she was like, okay, iPhone 8, lightning cable, bang, into the wall.
So this is an escape room building.
Yeah.
So I guess they're used to taking people's phones.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the world has changed. Let's all be honest
No,
here.
I disagree with that. How dare you make such an outrageous claim?
The world. Well, I was going to say the
Dion,
world. Has,
take it back.
the world has changed in relation to battery packs. Battery packs are so cheap. You shouldn't be running out of prepaid phone credit. You shouldn't be running out of charge in your phone. The world has changed, and I think personally they should supply a brick if they've got one, but they shouldn't even be getting to that point because that person should be monitoring their charge.
We know what really annoys me? People who now have the battery pack in their purse or in their bag and they plug it in, no issue with that, but it's when they continue to use the phone for an extended period of time with it plugged in.
What's the problem with that?
No, put it in storage in your bag or your purse. That's when it's charging. When you're getting out to use it, unplug it and use it as a normal phone.
This is so stupid.
It is so stupid.
But why? But you just put it on the back of the phone.
No, because they're really awkward when they're holding it. It's really
They're
annoying.
awkward.
They are. They all are.
They all are.
These
They
people.
don't know what they're doing.
I believe the world has changed.
Hot take.
The old days of our little Nokias that would last for 4 days, and now here we are with big, dirty dongles looking like it's basically like back to Neanderthal times, isn't it?
Do you ride the lightning, Sammy? Do you take your battery right down to the line?
I don't, but nor do I use a battery pack because I think that's just like.
Really?
No, I carry a charger with me, and I'm always confident that I will find myself not lost in Nevada, parched and close to death, but near a cafe, a library, or home where a power source exists.
Well, I used to work at, I used to run one of the bars at the Falls Festival, and we used to have a lot of people in the VIP bar coming through and going, hey, mate, you've got to charge. You know, you're on a big farm at this festival, so they don't have power. And so my attitude was always, I'm not supplying anything, and I'm not taking any responsibility, but if you want me to put it behind the bar, happy to do it. Not my problem, though, whatever happens to it.
The responsibility, that's the thing, even with these establishments like the
Yes.
escape room, and then you come back and your phone's gone, and who's to blame?
Exactly right.
But leading on from this, you know, if you can't, Christian, ask a venue to charge your bloody phone, can you ask a venue to turn down the music? Can you ask a venue to wind up the air conditioner? Like, what rights do you have? Because the other day I was at breakfast and I just went across to the speaker at the breakfast place and just turned it down.
Fantastic.
And the wrath that I got from the waitress, I didn't see it, but the person I was with said, man, she's giving you this look. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
It was way too loud. But yeah.
Not your
I
call.
Not my call. I probably should have done it, but I shouldn't be getting wrath for that.
Yes, you should, because a venue as an establishment, they have made the decision on the mood that they want to have.
No, they haven't.
No, they have.
But look at the mood that created.
That's the mood they wanted. You didn't like the mood.
Dion, you walked into this place. You have eyes, you have ears, you're a smart man. You can take in the establishment that you're entering.
Yeah.
If the music wasn't to your liking, go somewhere
Go
else.
somewhere else. But
Exactly.
I'd already ordered.
Your problem.
Can I ask them to turn it down?
Of course you can ask.
I can do that, but I can't do it myself. Acknowledged.
I reckon
You can't go into the kitchen and cook your own eggs because you don't like the way they did it.
Yeah, they didn't like that either.
No, I think you have to be comfortable. I think for me, I would never ask for an air conditioner to be turned up or down, or a door closed, or music turned up or down, because I don't want to change the dynamic that they've set.
It was pretty brazen. I regret my actions, and I will never be going back there again because I've been banned.
Well, I had that's amazing when I was on my recent trip to Egypt, to Jordan. There was this amazing restaurant we went to. It was fantastic. It was very hot in Egypt. It was like an open air kind of thing, outdoors but covered. And there were fans just oscillating there. And there was a massive tour group that had come in. And it was the weirdest thing. It was clearly one of those big bus tours, all a bit older people. And the guy was he directed who sat at what table. So he was like, Joan, you can go with Robert over that one. Vincenzo, you can be on this. And he like organized where everyone was sitting. And then, so we found out this guy's name was Vincenzo, and he was just a weird guy. And so like really, really hot, right? Fan oscillating over the table. Vincenzo gets up, talks to the staff. Stop the fan oscillating, please. I was like, you're in a really hot thing. So he gets it to stop. And I was like, it was breathing on his back and everyone else comfortably on the table. But he was like, not interested in this. So he aimed it away from the table. About 10 minutes later, he's got up again and go, can you just turn it off, please? Boiling hot in Egypt, just turns off the fan. I was like, all right, that's Vincenzo's choice, who's sitting one person on a table of about 10.
Why did he want it off?
I don't know.
What's the deal?
It was unbelievable. Unless he didn't like air on the back of his neck, I guess.
Or he just loves sweating.
He was into it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
really
yeah.
wanted it.
Also, I think the idea is get a good sweat happening, get the fan back on, you cool that water down, you've made yourself an ice pack. You're literally the ice pack. What do you guys think about cloakrooms? Because I tend to err on the side of not using them despite their practicality, despite how good it is to be able to place your jacket down, place a bag in a room. I don't like interacting with the cloakroom staff. I feel like
I'm sure they love you.
I feel like they're all disinterested in me, and I want a pleasant interaction.
I am just scrambling through my life story, trying to remember the last time I was at a venue that had a cloakroom.
Yeah.
Now, go to the gallery and drop your bag off. Sure, but you're acting like, is it a gentleman's club? Are you some sort of private
honest,
parliamentary restaurant?
Put my blazer down, of course, absolutely.
No, the place I'm thinking of is the Toff.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
everyone thinks of.
It's the Toff.
Okay, I was there 3 weeks ago.
And they're always so disinterested.
Christian, do you think you should be charged to cloak?
No, don't charge me to cloak. I'm going to spend heaps in your bar.
Yeah.
But also, every time I go to the Toff, which is a bar in Melbourne, take my jacket off, go up to them, give it to someone, turn around for a second, there's a different person there. If you leave the room and come back, there's always a different attendant.
The other person has left wearing a sweet new coat.
That's why it's free. Hey, they just give you the jackets.
It's just the other side of the bar.
Do you think when you put your bagging, I'm far more interested in the bag situation. Do you
Sure.
think when they're bored, once the rush has subsided, they just go through your shit? I assume they do. It's like storing your data in the cloud. I assume there's just people looking at everything, and I've made that decision that I'm okay with that.
But that's the thing that I hate. The sign that says we take no responsibility for
Yeah.
this. Like, no, as a cloakroom, you take all the responsibility.
your one job.
Yeah, you're looking after my stuff. That's why I'm not just leaving it on the floor in the club.
Yeah, as distinct from them looking after your phone, you don't expect them to, if it gets stolen or something, it's on
No.
them. If something gets spilt on it,
Unless it's like a charging service, like at different festivals and stuff these days, they have those like lockers of phones and you put them in. Then that's your responsibility. If I'm giving my thing to you and I'm paying some sort of fee for it, absolutely that's your responsibility.
I think a free cloakroom, but they charge you for insurance over your goods.
Hey guys, so I was scrolling through Instagram again and I got right to the bottom, right, I scrolled all the way, got right down to the very bottom and I got to Alexander Graham Bell's account at Ring-a-Ding-Ding. and the photo was of 2 tin cans and a piece of string. And the caption said, "This thing is bullshit." Hashtag gotta be a better way. Hashtag phoning it in. Sammy, you on Instagram as well?
Yeah, I didn't go that far back. I just went back 107 years to Captain Edward John Smith, Captain of the Titanic, at Beadyface Magoo. He's posted on April 10th, 1912. It's just a selfie of him on the dock at Southampton with passengers boarding behind him. Caption, cruise ship passengers. Hashtag one more voyage until I retire. Good time.
Well, I also had my phone out and I also was scrolling all the way through Instagram. And I got all the way back to Albert Einstein and his handle was at Let's Get Physics Cool. And the photo, it's a group shot of all the Einsteins at a large family reunion and the caption is, "It's all relatives." Hashtag smile for the photon.
oh wow, little zinger at the end.
Dion, were you
Yes.
on Instagram?
Yeah, I was actually. I was scrolling, got right to the bottom. I came across a photo of an angry French woman on the battlefield with the handle "Noah ain't the only ark." With the caption reading, "Sick of all these men on the battlefield dominating conversation. One soldier just mansplained to me what a bayonet is. I'm leading this army in Le Battle. Of course I know what a fucking bayonet is." Hashtag Vive la France.
So I was trying to write down a phone number the other day, and it occurred to me there are 2 situations when someone's telling me a phone number. Sometimes they'll say it to me and I'll write it down, or do I get to look at it and write it down? And I much, much, much prefer someone saying it to me and then I write it down or punch it in myself, because I hate looking away, looking back, because I lose my point. I was wondering, what do you guys prefer to do?
Sammy, I'm so interested in your opinion on this. What do you like doing? Do you like it being dictated to you, or do you like copying it off?
I prefer the dictation and me typing it in, but I am pretty devastatingly quick on the old phone. Like, people watch me texting and they do comment.
Oh,
It's just a blur.
Yeah.
thumbs? 2 thumbs?
No, one thumb, just at pace.
One thumb at pace.
Yeah.
You're like Thumper from... I can't remember the film. Thumper from that film.
Is it a rabbit from
Bambi?
I don't even think he had a thumb. And there was no phones there either.
Thumper's a rabbit, right?
Thumper is a rabbit from Bambi.
That doesn't use a phone.
Doesn't use a phone.
No. Thumper does use a phone. You never see it because Thumper is so quick. That's me.
I disagree with you, Sammy. I disagree with you, Josh, and probably Dion.
I haven't said anything yet.
I assume that I'm going to disagree with you.
No, I'll tell you quickly what my deal is. I much prefer someone to dictate it to me. Just do it well. Just do
Yeah.
it well. But I don't like my eyes darting back and forth between paper and mind.
But I do. I like the time. You get to dictate the time. If someone shows it to you, you don't have to worry about their rhythm, the way that they read it out. You get to... I like the patience involved with, I'll take it in here, I'll move across, write it down. The person showing me the number can see how far through the number I am.
And how many digits per peak are you going for?
How many digits per peak?
Sorry, I didn't realize we had
DPP.
Yeah, how many are you going? So you look across and you're coming back. How many you're writing down? How many you've absorbed in that look?
If it's a phone, I tend to play with a 4-3-3 formation, and I'll go your 0-4 something something,
Yeah.
a triplet, and then another triplet.
Would you ever be so bold as to pre-look right down the 0-4?
Of course I would. Why wouldn't you?
You come unstuck once and it's a very horrible feeling.
Absolutely, because you start on 0-4, you look back at the number, and then you're confused because you're back at 0-4. Don't know where to go.
I used to do with my phone number the 4222 because, and it used to be great. I thought it was clever. I thought it was much easier to remember because the digits of my old phone number, it was 0404 and it was 271727. And I thought that was great because you got the same numbers, you're coming back and forth. The amount of people it confused, I stuck with it for about 3 or 4 years.
Oh, Josh.
And then I went to 433.
Right.
Another thing that you sometimes have to do is over the phone, you need to relay sometimes a series of letters and numbers to someone, using this cellular connection, which is, you would know as a phone call. I don't know where I'm going with this. But one of the experiences I have is that when you call up Apple and you need to give the serial number of your Mac, and it's this mixture of letters, numbers, and I'm not particularly good at the phonetic alphabet. I'm awful at it. What do you guys like with your phonetic alphabet?
I just make up the word in my head, but I got a creepy weird words.
So what we're actually going to do today is, Christian,
I don't know the phonetic alphabet.
That's why we're doing it today, Christian. I have written down my Mac serial number. I've changed a couple because we know there are some sneaky patchworkers out there that'll look it up and try and give me Apple Care. But Christian, I'm gonna pass this to you, and I would like you to read it out to me as if I'm an Apple support specialist, using the phonetic alphabet very, very clearly. So here's the piece of paper.
Okay.
Sorry, just if you're going to be an Apple Care specialist, just a little more smug, please.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and really cool as well.
Also, I'm assuming that the zero with the line through it is a 0.
Yes, it is. I wanted to make that clear.
Okay. Am I giving you a call?
Yeah, give us a call.
Hey,
No.
Oh no, you answer the phone. That's right. No, actually, I got in before you. Hey, my laptop is absolutely stuffed.
Welcome to Apple Support. Can I help you?
My laptop is absolutely stuffed.
Okay. I can definitely help you with that.
That's great to hear. The last person I spoke to was the opposite.
The one thing I'll need from you is your serial number. Would you just be able to read out your Mac serial number? You can find it by the
Sure.
Apple logo, top left of your screen.
The quality of the line's pretty great, so I'm going to avoid the phonetic alphabet if that's okay.
That's all right. Josh will fix that up in post.
So my serial number is J for jam, 0,
Yes.
2, W for wings, 6, 0, S for Samuel.
Sorry, that was S.
S for Samuel.
Yep.
Y for Yarra River. H.
So is that Y and R?
Just Y. Yarra River, one word. H for helicopter. V for vendetta. 2 for it takes 2 to tango. And T for it takes 2 to tango.
Should we do the whole support call now?
That's great.
I'm just going to log into your computer now.
No, wait a second.
Well, the one I used to work at a travel agent, and we used to have people call in and would book the holidays over the phone. And it was a lot of older clientele, and it used to frustrate me to no end getting the credit card from them. And I know how I would give the credit card, and I know what I would want to do, and I would be expecting them to do that. But it was just like pulling teeth getting this stuff. So what I would like to do, if you would like to be me, Sammy, receiving the call, and I'll be the old person calling up and giving you my credit card number in the way that they would typically do it. So I'll call you up, the travel agents. Ring, ring.
Josh's maiden voyage. How may I help you?
Hi, I'm wondering, have you got that hotel that's in Sydney?
Yeah, I'll just look it up.
Thanks.
You wanted the view of smoke?
Yeah, as smoggy as possible would be
And
great.
how many beds will you be requiring?
Just one big one.
Lucky little boy. Rightio. Okay, yep, I've got that. Yep, that's standard 290 for the night, including breakfast buffet with spoon included.
Wonderful. That sounds great. I'm ready to pay. Let's go.
Okay, can I just grab your credit card details, please?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 043.
Sorry, is that a Visa or MasterCard? Amex?
Visa. Okay, Visa.
Sorry, what was the number again?
043
Yes?
6
Sorry, just from the top again?
17.
No, we go from the top.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
043
Yep.
6
Okay.
60 17
Yep.
77
Okay.
4266
I will need that once more.
4266.
What I'm going to get you to do is hold the card in front of your eyes now, and just in a steady, slow stream, just read the numbers out.
Which numbers?
The ones on the card.
Okay. ROBERTKWILLIAMS.
Right. I might get you to come into the store if that's okay.
Have you got all that then?
Yeah. Look, I'm just going to put it on mine, okay? You look like you could use some help.
Oh, that's very generous. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
It was interminable. I just wanted 4 and then date CVC. That's all I wanted, and they could not handle it. I was like, every time you write down a credit card number, you write it in 4s. Give it to me in 4s.
But they give it to you on the card in 4s.
I
Follow
know.
that pattern.
That's what I found very odd.
The problem is we're dealing with people who are using the phone to book a trip in the age of the internet. So there's your first problem.
That's right. And I'm so surprised that when we're giving this information over the phone, we've got a keyboard in front of us. Why can't I send them this information? Why can't I send you why can't you send me your serial number and then it pops up on my screen? Why isn't
You're
that being
asking
done?
me? Do you want the answer?
Yeah, I would love the answer. Sammy, you don't have the answer, do you?
I had the answer.
Oh, you
In
had the
fact,
answer.
Recently, I was booking something, and they sent me to a recorded message and got me to thumb in my credit card. For security reasons, I reckon it wasn't that. I reckon it was people going insane from people reading out the number incorrectly.
Oh my God, getting through that credit card and making a mistake towards the end. Christ, there's no way to know how to start again. Are you supposed to just wait a period of time, then restart pressing in the number, or do you just hang up the call?
You're talking to old Thumper Thumbs Jay here, so I've never had that problem.
The worst is when it's a very long one and you know you've made an error towards the end, but you have to wait for the computer to read it back to you. And you're like, come on, give me that 6 that I fudged. Come on, it's coming up. Here it comes.
The other thing that I hate is when you're inputting numbers into a phone and they don't give you enough time to flick between apps. So if I've got the number that I want to dial into my dialer, give us some time. I have to switch back and forth. It's we didn't get your... Yeah, of course you didn't. You didn't wait long enough, you idiot.
Yep, it's the universal language of hash. The hash ends the interaction with a robot. Can we all agree on that? And until then, it's at your pleasure.
I love that. That's the way to take down Skynet. Just hit hash.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been an indeterminate number of patches since my last confession.
Well, it's good to have you back in the booth, my son.
Great to see you again. Looking trim.
Thank you. I have been watching what I've been eating. Just the wafers.
Father, I was having dinner with my housemate last week, and I got cutlery for myself, but I didn't get it for her.
Oh, that's very selfish, my son. Were you cooking together?
We were cooking together, but I feel like this was her responsibility and not mine.
To get the cutlery for herself? Was she eating her own meal, or were you sharing a meal together? The same food.
Actually,
The same. I was talking of pig trotters, my son.
well, Father, when she alerted me to the fact that that I didn't bring her cutlery, I got her a knife, but Father, it was one of those non-serrated knives, which they're useless.
They are absolutely useless.
They're not
What were
even
you
good for-
eating?
They're not even good. Oh, we were eating butter, but
Salted or unsalted?
always unsalted.
Good for you, my son.
Yeah, it was
Well, you do know the story of Jesus feeding the many with several loaves of bread and some fish. The story has a classic moral: do unto others as you would like done unto you. And many people are not aware of the extra fact that he also set the table and offered everyone cracked pepper and salt as well. Your penance, my son, is to literally have every single dish run away with your spoons.
Thank you, Father.
Be gone.
Okay. Excuse me.
Sorry, I've never been in this booth before.
It's nice, isn't it?
Very comfortable.
Yeah, look at all the fairy lights.
Forgive me, Father, for I have indeed sinned. I'm so sorry.
My son, have a breath, please. Here, have a Tic Tac.
Oh, thank you.
It's the only thing that fits through this
the
grill.
was just perfectly. It's almost like there's a sponsorship arrangement in place. I see you've tried to mash a Mars bar through this side. But it's just,
I learnt the hard way, my son.
I was at a cinema. Oh God! And I opened up my choc top to eat after the movie had started.
After the movie had started,
I
my son, I must ask a question. Did this film have trailers?
It did.
So you had a chance to eat your choc top during the trailers, and you chose the start of the film.
And one of the trailers was for the candy bar and said, "Now's a good time to open your candy."
Oh, my son. Did you even turn your phone off?
Of course, I'm not a savage.
So tell me, my son, at least what type of film was it? Was it a loud film?
It was the live-action remake of Aladdin.
Well, I mean, there are moments. And were you crunching loud?
Very loud.
Oh, my son. This is one of the worst I've heard from a newbie. Your penance is to go on a date to the cinema and only have the options of Airbud 1, Airbud 2, Golden Receiver, and Airbud 3, World Pup.
So every once in a blue moon, I am partial to getting frozen yogurt. And I go with my girlfriend because she really likes it. She selects her yogurt very, very quickly, moves along to the toppings that I personally find extremely overwhelming. But she moves across to the toppings and she has exactly an idea of what she's putting on the frozen yogurt. And when I approach the sort of the buffet section of all of these different toppings, I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I don't know what flavors are going to go well together. I don't know what I'm doing, and I do something different every time.
Does she normally get the same stuff?
I think she gets the same stuff with sort of
Okay.
little variations. Look, she's very clever, as you can tell. But I was wondering with you guys, when you're faced with an assortment of items in a buffet like that, what's your strategy? How do you go? Do you freeze up? Do you know what you like?
Can I just say that never has 1 minute of audio better encapsulated the need for compulsory military service in this country. We really need a war to get some perspective back into our lives.
This is the hardest decision of my life.
For a sweet treat, I generally know the few things that I quite like, and I'll be like, yep, I kind of like something chocolatey or whatever, and I'll pick a few things. But when you're like talking about a general buffet that's got salads, meats, pastas, everything, I do the same thing every time, and it ruins me every time. I go and get a little bit of everything because I was like, I want to try it all out. I want to find out what I like here because it's all going to be different every buffet you go to. A little bit of that, little bit of that, little bit of that. Plate is full to the brim. I go through. I find something I really like. I get through the rest of it. I'm too full. I never go back. The idea is to go back and get the thing you like.
So you're a one-plater.
Yeah.
A single trip
Yeah, because I loaded up so much with everything.
at a buffet. A single trip.
Yes.
Josh, okay. Do you grab a bread roll?
Yeah, one of everything.
A dinner roll, they're called there, I think.
A dinner roll. Do you fill the dinner roll with the other ingredients on the plate?
No, just a bit of butter.
Just a bit of butter.
A little bit of butter wrapped in foil.
There you go. There's the problem. You're filling up on unnecessary carbohydrates.
Interesting. Sammy, what do you reckon?
I reckon General Buffet is the name of the platoon commander who will be in charge of your sorry white boy asses when he sends you to war in the coming decade. But no, Josh and I would make good dinner dates because I'm the same. I have a bit of a famine mentality where I want to be surprised and delighted. The reason you ever leave the house is so you don't have the same old crap you make yourself. And if there's something a little bit exotic, I want to sample it. I want to bring it in. And also, I grew up in the 90s when you had Pizza Hut all-you-can-eat buffet. When this wasn't as much of an issue. These days, if it's based on weight and things, I don't want to have that. I want to pay my money and then cut sick.
I'm just not sure that, looking back on it, we should be trusting a restaurant that's chosen to provide volume of food rather than quality.
Yeah, it's a really good point. The other thing, Josh, I would have thought you'd hate a buffet because you love your food really hot. And we all know that a little tea candle doesn't do shit.
Well, the key to the buffet is you've got to keep an eye on the chefs. And when they change something out...
Keep an eye on them.
Because they're stealing the food. No, because when they make a changeover, you got to get in there. And you got to keep an eye on, if that's been there for a while, you're in trouble.
Are they chefs, do you reckon? are they really chefs? Like, this is mass-produced food. Using it very lightly.
I'm
the
just
term.
curious. I'm always curious about how a restaurant arrives at, let's do a buffet.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
be buffet.
Yeah.
Like, are they just a group of friends that got together and they're like, hey, I'm good at this cuisine. I'm great at that. Fuck it. Let's do them all.
Or just a group of waiters and chefs who just got sick of people asking for stuff.
Yeah, and all they have to do is collect the
You
dishes.
figure it out. They literally just open up the kitchen and just turn that into a dining area.
Well, they only buy in bulk. They're like, well, we're only buying in bulk, guys. We've got to get through it.
Are you guys going to Costco? Yeah, of course we're going to Costco.
Dion, how many plates are you doing? Because we know that Sammy and Josh, single platers.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't expect me to have a particularly honed strategy for this, would you, Christian?
No, but just by feel, right? You're going to a buffet.
Yeah.
Do you have a
And I
strategy?
do like to feel all the food on the buffet before I have it. It's one of the joys. It's a very tactile experience.
Is that a real candle or?
I can tell you, so I'll go and I think it through. I'll have an entree plate.
Yep.
I'll aim to have 2 mains plates. I think we can all tell now why I'm the biggest in the room. But I don't pile it on. I like to structure the plate. So I'll go, okay, this is going to be roast veggies, a little bit of cheese on the side. Okay, next plate, I'm going to move to the pasta.
Christian, what you're doing is fooling yourself into thinking that you're experiencing a fine dining establishment. Yes. And we, Josh and I, we're honest with ourselves. We're animals. We pile up our trough of slop and we shuffle back out of sight of society and just cram it into our face. You're acting like it's some sort of actual restaurant.
That's such a good point. You're adapting it into something that it's not meant to be.
What I don't want to do is just mix all my food together like a big salad.
That's how it'll all end up in your stomach, sir.
But that's what the problem I run into, where you've probably separated your stuff. As much as I try and separate it, the beef stroganoff is just going through everything. It's just getting everything wet, no matter what it is.
Wet.
Yeah, so what I do, you try and put a bit of a Great Wall of China rice And that can try and stop some of the overflow and soak it up so you can kind of keep those liquids apart.
Great. So yours is about division on the plate.
As best I can.
As best you can.
But then the size of the plate, sometimes level 2. You just have to
absolutely.
go for it.
And I love a warm plate. Very important at a buffet. I think the standard of the buffet can be judged by how hot the plates are when you grab them. Because that's when you know they're thinking about rotation.
If you got a blow on the plate, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is yum cha then, is that a buffet? Because I mean,
It's very close, isn't it?
It's
I think
very
I think it
close.
disrespects the yum cha experience though to call it a buffet.
I think it does.
That is simply how yum cha is served. A buffet would be your beef stroganoff and your jelly.
Yeah,
And your yum cha as well. That could be called. Yum cha can be part of a buffet, but yum cha in itself is not a buffet.
Yeah. So Dion, having heard our positions,
Yeah.
how many plates?
I'm not having the peace of mind to go multiple plates. I'm just going one big plate and just doing multiple trips. I usually hate doing multiple trips. When I go shopping and I come back, I want to do one trip from my bags up until my apartment. I want one trip. I'm not doing 2 trips. I want to stay seated as much as possible.
I've grown over time, and I think the shame of the multiple trip isn't there as much as it used to be. I remember as a child, we used to go always, our family would go at around Christmas time to this big Italian function center that had a buffet, and I would kind of pretend to go to the bathroom and then just kind of come back with a plate by my side and be like,
my God.
Was anyone else eating? I'll just have this.
Throw some urinal cakes. See, I'm imagining, Chris, you said 1 entree plate and 2 maids. I'm imagining you go the full waiter, all 3 at once, up the arm, and just loading up. Goes, guys, it's okay. It's just one trip. Don't worry about it.
But the best thing about it is if you don't get through it, someone else on the table will be like, do you mind if I just... Yeah, absolutely. Because I can always grab more.
Oh, that's your ploy then. I'm just getting enough for everyone, guys.
Yes.
Getting enough for everyone.
Great excuse. I've never thought to do that.
It doesn't matter what the cuisine is. There's always cold, hard-boiled eggs, aren't there?
Great.
At a buffet.
One of my favorite staples at a buffet.
Really?
Yeah, I love I love a cold hard cash. I love a cold hard boiled egg.
What else is a staple? You've always got the
Prawns,
meats.
massive tray of prawns, massive
Really?
tray of calamari.
Prawns?
Dion, they've got everything.
Oh, do
When
they?
you say they,
Yeah.
define they.
Sizzlers?
The buffets. The buffet conglomerate. Big buffet.
But Sammy, at Pizza Hut, I used to be a menace at the dessert cart. Mm-hmm. Did you just jump into the dessert cart?
Sounds like a comedy exaggeration, and it's not. I would leave that place with pockets full of Smarties and the little marshmallows, little thimble-sized
they're
ones,
great.
because it was just heaven. I'm almost getting teary remembering that. Here you are saying don't trust a place that bases it on volume. You went there for the volume. You were allowed to do your own soft serve. You were allowed to do your own jelly.
Oh, man. You were going to some premium places.
Frankston Pizza Hut, 1995. There I shall forever reside in my mind.
Do you think that's within your ambit to be able to take food and take it home?
Well,
Because does it have to be in your stomach to be ethical?
it's close to the stomach, isn't it?
I don't think you can take home buffet food.
I think you can.
I did. Yeah. It's not a theoretical question. You certainly can. The question is morally speaking.
So you think you can bring a Tupperware container and say, do you guys mind if I just fill this up?
I'm sorry, I'm not got a law degree, but don't change my words. I never said the Tupperware container. I said Billabong hoodie with little pockets in it.
The whole hoodie's just completely filled up with soup.
Gee, Sammy really packed on the pounds.
Do you know what I really hate at a buffet is the rotating toaster. I dislike how slow and how inconsistent the toasting is.
Why? Because normal toasters are consistent, are they?
You can control the temperature.
What's the advantage of the rotating toaster?
You can fit so many slices of bread.
And it's more fun.
And they get to go on a little holiday as well, which is nice for the toast.
But I think isn't the breakfast buffet the best of the buffets? It's the king of the buffets, the breakfast
It
buffet.
absolutely is.
In this entire discussion, because my life, I've realised with horror is one of not going out at night with kids. And so breakfast buffets has been my primary touch point of the last 10 years, probably.
They're great.
Why is it the best, Josh? It clearly is.
I think all the food you can get at a breakfast buffet stays pretty good. The bacon kind of stays okay. The eggs stay fairly warm. Mm-hmm. Then it's like fresh fruit, yogurt, all this kind of stuff.
Sorry, what was that? Yogurt?
Yogurt.
Christian, got a bone to pick with Josh.
I got a bone to pick
Why do you say yogurt?
We've discussed this before. Because I watched a lot of English comedy when I was young, and I still do, and I found it funny the way they said it, and I continue to say
This
it
is
that
the
way.
second time you picked this bone on this podcast.
Wait, in this episode?
Yeah.
Just to go back to the breakfast buffet for a moment, what's the best? I'll tell you the other place you get them is the hostel breakfast. That's also a bit of a buffet. Very bare bones though. Generally, it's just your cereal, it's just your toast, and maybe some fruit if you're lucky.
What do you reckon, Sammy? What do you think
Yeah.
of that hostel buffet?
Oh, look, the old just knife stuck in a Vegemite pot.
Is it a buffet?
Look,
Is it? It's just a loaf of bread with a bit of spread, isn't it?
we're back to the Yum Cha discussion. Buffet's in the eye of the beholder. And when I was travelling around as a 19-year-old backpacker, it was not a buffet, it was a feast of kings. And you would eat, I would make myself little Vegemite sandwiches. Marmite, sorry, it was, alongside the yogurt. And carry that around for the day. Or little
In your hoodie.
In my hoodie.
In your pockets.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
Do you know what's really good? A strike in a casual game of 10-pin bowling.
Really good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? When you shave your beard into a dry sink and your beard hairs can be pinched and cleaned up easily.
Really good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? When the form you're filling out leaves enough space on the page for your signature.
Oh, really good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? When you accidentally run over someone's dog, but they haven't seen it happen, so you can just drive away and no one will ever know.
Really good. And of course, we like to read out a listener really good. We have really good Fridays that happen every 2 weeks. So get on social media and contribute. And Sammy, you're going to be reading this week's.
Yeah, KJ Matheson thinks something is really good, and this is it. When you have a house party and everyone leaves their alcohol.
Really good.
Really good. Really good.
Thank you very much for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. Sammy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. If people, on the off chance they have enjoyed listening to you on our show, where else can they hear you?
They can hear me, every morning of the rest of my... for the next 2 years contractually obliged, 5:30 a.m. Melbourne time. Wherever you are in the world, you can find it on the ABC Radio Melbourne website, stream it on the app, and I'll just be chatting away.
And you've got a tour coming up as well.
National tour, singing some songs from my Aria Losing album, Symphony in J Minor.
And we'd like to thank again our patrons. You mean the world to us. If you're not yet a patron, we're doing a drive at the moment. We need to get to 100, and then we'll be able to pay for things that we buy for this show. It can get very expensive. So thanks so much in the last couple of weeks to people who've signed up. We really appreciate it. Go to patreon.com/welcome to patchwork. And as we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Sammy, what patch did you sew into your quilt this week?
Oh, I almost didn't want to sew because I feel so enveloped by love and warmth in this quilt. It's been a joy. But no, I did ultimately, and I don't know where you stand with advertising, but I did ultimately sew in a Pizza Hut logo, but it was the 1995 version. Very simple. And behind that, I've just sort of pinned in a photo of me eating a Choc Top loudly with 2 thumbs up. So a bit more of a collage. And Josh, what did you sew in this week?
My patch this week was Sammy going to an escape room and leaving with a hoodie full of phone cables. And Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
Funny, I also sewed a patch of Sammy. This week, I sewed into my patch Sammy craving some hot eggs, but only happening upon the cold, hard-boiled variety, so then using his thumper thumb to scramble them up. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is Josh noticing all the lights out in Cairo because Vincenzo has demanded all wind turbines in the country to stop oscillating. Thank you very much for listening to Welcome to Patchwork for another week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
I remain Sammy J.
Goodbye.
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 I hope that's clear enough.
Joan of Arc.
I hope.
You better keep that last interaction. If you don't include this bit right now, I will be ropeable.